Here's a question for you. Does God want you to tithe? We're talking about Luke chapter 16 and verse 9, where Jesus says, "Make for yourself friends by means of the mammon of unrighteousness." We said mammon of unrighteousness is just a word for money, often used for unrighteous terms. Does God want you to tithe? Well, Leviticus 27, they brought 1/10 of their goods to the Lord. In Deuteronomy 14, they went to Jerusalem and celebrated with a tenth. And every third year, they gave another tenth to the poor and needy. So in the Old Testament, they tithed 20%, and then sometimes another third every third year. The book of Malachi says, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse." And Proverbs 3 says, "Honor the Lord from the first of your wealth." Does God want you to tithe? Under the law, yes. But how about this? Jesus said to a rich man in Luke chapter 18, "Sell what you have and give it to the poor." He wanted more than a tithe. Or Zacchaeus in Luke chapter 19, "Those whom I've wronged I'll return fourfold, and I'm going to give half what I have to the needy." He gave more than a tithe. In Acts chapter 2, they were selling their possessions and giving to the Lord, more than a tithe. So does God want you to tithe? Well, let's go back to Luke chapter 16 and verse 9 for a second. Make for yourselves friends. I'd say a tithe is a baseline, but the faithful will want to give more because God has given more. And it sort of depends how many friends you want to make. That is, how much you want to invest in the kingdom so that God can bless you with further resources to invest in the kingdom. Tithe, just the beginning. The goal, make friends. Invest so that the gospel changes people's lives. So here's three things I would do and two or three things I wouldn't do. I'd invest in the church. That's where the bulk of my giving goes because I know the people on the board and I know what they're doing and I know their plans for the future. Now have in place, we're working through a 5, 10, and 15-year plan. I wouldn't invest in a Christian organization where I didn't really know the people. Now, they'll be nice to me if I want to give, but does that mean I really know what they're going to do or know who's going to follow them? I wouldn't necessarily give because I heard a heart-tugging plea. I don't know how much is actually going to overhead and how much is going to the gift. And here's something else I would do. I would invest in the Lord's work in such a way that I see the lives changed. Not just a picture of lives changed, but lives changed. Tithe, it's just the beginning. This is your daily devotional for Wednesday. I hope you're doing well. Hope you'll pray for the church and pray for me and seek first the kingdom of God. And remember, Jesus said, "Blessed are those who hear the words of God and keep them." God bless you today.